Ah, the official Venom account wants to roast people. That'll be pretty fun. I'll see what they can roast me with.
Look at little Goblin Jr. Gonna cry?
I come to you today, humble and humiliated, to ask you for one thing. I want you to kill the heavy spoilers. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. Let's dive into some of the movie news we're going to discuss here today. Some of the things we're going to be discussing here today is getting all prepped up for the Blumhouse event coming October 1st. Scream 5 begins their marketing campaign with a mysterious little page. The upcoming Transformers movie gets a new logo. And we even have reports of Sony wanting to make a solo Sinister 6 movie. That along with so much more. So many of you guys give me your opinions with everything we discuss here today. And just to let you guys know, I do have the lucky pleasure of watching Venom Let There Be Carnage tonight. I'm very excited. So I'll be posting that review before the movie releases, along with still working hard with all the Halloween Michael Myers reviews. Thank you to you guys who've been checking those out. It really means a lot to me when y'all support the non-news related videos. Alright, but just diving into it, I had a lot of people asking my opinion on this, so I'll just talk about it real quick. Earlier last week, we got the announcement of the title for the new Fantastic Beasts movie. And I know there's a giant fan base out there for Harry Potter and these Fantastic Beasts films, but I just gotta be honest, I was really giving a shot to the Fantastic Beasts franchise, and I just could not get into them the same way I was getting into the Harry Potter films. I felt like they started off trying to be one thing where they were going to show you all the creatures within the Harry Potter world, maybe give you a little bit backstory into that, but as the movies are going on, it's becoming less about the beasts and more just about connecting back to the main Harry Potter universe. So now with this new title that they revealed, it's just even more confusing. It was coming out, the new Fantastic Beasts movie would be called Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, and they also went ahead and changed the release date from July 2022 all the way to April 15th, 2022. The current synopsis that was given out goes as the film picks up as Dumbledore, who knows Grindelwald wants to seize control of the wizarding world, enlists Newt Scamander to lead a team on a dangerous mission where they encounter old and new beasts and Grindelwald's growling legion of followers. And that's what I mean right there, where I felt like the Fantastic Beasts franchise just wasn't working out the way they wanted to, so it's like, oh, people don't like these mystical beasts, go back to Harry Potter stuff. So then we get plots like this where it's like, we're gonna find out the secrets of Dumbledore, how that's connected to the past that you never knew about in the Harry Potter world. But they're also going to go on a mission and meet other fairy tale creatures because Fantastic Beasts is still in the title. I'm still going to give this new Fantastic Beasts movie a shot and check it out, but I really think it's the last straw for me on this specific part of the franchise. If I don't end up liking it, I think I will just have lost interest in this specific series. But I'm curious to hear from you Harry Potter fans or Fantastic Beasts fans. Are you looking forward to this movie? Moving on here, it's coming up really quick. October 1st is around the corner and the Spooky Mama month can begin. You guys know me as a horror fan. I love October and everything spooky about it. And with that said, October 1st is going to be kicking off with a banger because not only do we have films like Venom Let There Be Carnage being released, but that first day in October, Blumhouse is going to be hosting an event that they call Blumfest, where it's basically their version of a DC fandom. They get online, they stream a little panel for free telling you about all their upcoming horror movies. Last year was pretty interesting. We got a little bit of Halloween Kills footage. We got the announcement of Insidious 5 in the works, along with other little things, and now they want to go full throttle with this year, showing off more sneak peek and surprises. But the main thing on everyone's mind, or at least a lot of horror fans that I get asked about constantly, is the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. That's the thing I kind of most want to hear about because we have just been in the dark on what's been going on with that project, because last we heard is it was supposed to begin filming spring of this year. We're in the fall, and unless that movie has shot in secret, which I highly doubt, it's going to be really interesting if they even mention Five Nights at Freddy's, because I feel like they have to. They have to give some sort of tiny little update on it. If you've been following the Five Nights world, you know that there's a whole situation right now where it's a transfer of power, that Scott the creator is passing the torch over to someone new that I don't think he's announced who yet, and I'm just wondering if that passing in power has affected the making of the FNAF movie, because Scott has been very involved in the making of the Five Nights at of Freddy's movie that maybe him leaving either gave Blumhouse some freedom to do something different, and that's why they're delaying things, or they have to wait for this new person to be head of Five Nights at Freddy's to get the approval to continue, and that's what the holdup is. Other than that, a lot of other great horror movies are going to be talked about. Like, we're finally going to get more detail on the Exorcist reboot that Blumhouse is really banking on. Like, they're going to make this a trilogy. We'll probably also finally get more details on that Insidious sequel, where it'll be a continuation of the original story with the original family. I would also love it if they finally go ahead and confirm that Halloween Ends will be happening, since because of the pandemic they weren't able to film the movie like they wanted, so that had to be put on hold. And now that Halloween Kills is being released in theaters and streaming, I would hate for those box office numbers to kind of ruin the potential of Halloween Ends. So a little guarantee that they're about to begin filming that movie, or that it is happening, would be awesome. We're also probably going to get a trailer or first sneak peek at the movie Black Phone, which I've just been hearing amazing things about. Other than that, I am curious what surprises mean, because they say they're going to have sneak peeks and surprises. What surprise movies could Blumhouse be working on right now that would really shock or be like, whoa, that's kind of cool? I want to know from you guys, are you excited for the Blumfest event come October 1st? What do you want them to announce or detail? Any clue on what surprises they might have? They're still working on that Magic 8-Ball horror movie. Maybe it's an update on that. One thing's for sure though, be sure you subscribe to this channel and stay tuned, because I'll cover that event and tell you everything they announce. And since we're on the topic of scary movies, let's talk about the one I'm most anticipated for next year, Scream 5, aka the 5 Cream. It looks like they have finally begun their marketing campaign and are starting something up in the background to get people hyped up and aware for Scream 5. And this would make sense with Halloween Kills right around the corner. Of course, Scream would want to put a trailer or a teaser in front of that movie being released. And here we have the first little bit of it, where the Scream Twitter page went ahead and tweeted out a link to a Facebook group that is being called Woodsboro Horror Film Club. Now, I'll admit, I don't think Facebook groups are probably the best way to start off your big banging marketing campaign, since I think Facebook is one of the least relevant sites. Now, no offense to you Facebook users, I still scroll on it from time to time, but I think what was the most fascinating part about this is it kind of gave us a hint to how the Scream marketing might go down, which gets me super excited. People notice on the logo for this Woodsboro Horror Film Club that they announced, if you zoom in on it, people notice that there are a couple of digits that are watermarked in it that seem a little bit hidden. Scream fans were really scrambling around trying to figure out what this meant, and it turned out to be a zip code for where Woodsboro would be. Not only that, where Stu's house is located. We've already seen through some behind the scenes Scream 5 photos is that they will be bringing back the Stu house, which was the final battle place in that first Scream movie. But now the marketing campaign is really pointing that it'll be an even bigger factor in this new Scream movie. It's also worth wondering if this new high school where these new kids are going to be from of the Scream cast actually have a horror film club, and that'll be a part of the movie, because I really want to see how Scream talks about these new modern age horror films, whether they bring up the Halloween 2018 reboot or maybe talk about some other different kind of horror movies like the Jordan Peele movies. But really, it was that excited me that they went ahead and hid little numbers in there for fans to kind of scramble around and figure out what it meant, letting me know that maybe the rest of the marketing campaign, whether it's posters, teaser trailers, other websites, might have secret encoded messages in there that we'll have to try and figure out what they means. And I love that kind of marketing. But I want to know from you guys, how are you guys feeling on Scream starting their marketing campaign with a Facebook group and a hidden message? Jumping onto the Transformers train real quick, I think a lot of fans are highly anticipating the new Transformer film that is being titled Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Well, now you can get a little more hype because they have revealed what the official new Transformers logo is going to be looking like for the movie, and it's pretty sweet to me. This movie will be responsible for mixing in some of that lore of the Beast Wars cartoon series from the 90s, where they're set to introduce different factions of Transformers, not just Decepticons and Autobots. They'll also be bringing in Maximals and Predacons, and it feels like this is a good combined logo of the best of both worlds, where you do obviously have the Autobot symbol in there, but now it's surrounded with almost this like saber-toothed tiger looking thing that obviously lets you know this is a Transformers movie that'll be showing off some beasts. So I really like this look for them. I'm just, again, still curious to see what the Beast Wars looking Transformers are going to look like, how the time travel element is going to come into play here, what timelines they reset or get rid of. It's just fun to be excited for a new Transformers movie when the last couple ones have just not been that great, minus Bumblebee, of course. But for you Transformer fans, how are you feeling on this new logo? Do you like the mashup, or do you think they should have just stuck with the classics? From there, let's move on to some Spider-Man talk right here, because we are getting just some interesting reports that are going on in the Sony universe. universe. New reports are coming out from writers of Deadline. And if you guys don't know, Deadline is one of the most credible movie news websites in the industry. They're like one of the actual professional websites that rarely ever misses. So it's one of the reasons I thought this was worth bringing up is during a podcast that they have on their website, a writer by the name of D. Alessandro went ahead and said this about Sony's upcoming slate from what he's heard. He talks about how he's heard that Venom and Spider-Man are destined for a crossover, and we kind of figured that because even Andy Serkis, the director of Venom Let There Be Carnage, has already said that will be happening sometime. We just gotta wait to see when it will happen. But he also went ahead and mentioned, I know one of their long-term goals is to make Sinister 6. That's kind of the project we're all waiting for, you know, their version of the bad guys from Spider-Man. Essentially saying that aside from Morbius, the Venom movie, the Kraven the Hunter movie with Aaron Taylor Johnson, and so many other Spider-Man projects that they have in the works, one of them that Sony is wanting to do is a solo Sinister 6 movie. And I'm just kind of confused because Spider-Man No Way Home is set to be a sort of Sinister Six-like movie. Because it's no secret from everything that we've heard and the little clues we can spot in the trailer, there will be a multiverse Sinister Six that'll be popping up in Spider-Man No Way Home, comprised of the villains from the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield world. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is how the MCU will do the Sinister Six, and I kind of highly doubt that they'll do it again because, well, they'll already do it in Spider-Man No Way Home. But Sony is a different entity that tries to keep things a little bit separate from Marvel, except when they want to piggyback off their back, and are trying to create their own version of a Sinister Six solo movie. I have no idea how that'll go down or what that even means. Does that mean they're going to try and set up a solo movie with the multiverse Sinister Six that we see? Or is that what they've been planning all along with Morbius and Vulture showing up in that movie played by Michael Keaton? Will they be making a Sinister Six that is comprised of the MCU villains that we've seen so far? You know, people like Mysterio, Vulture, Shocker. I feel like maybe that's more what they're leaning towards, but even then, how do you do a solo Sinister Six movie? How do you have six group of bad guys be the villains? They have to fight up against something, and if it's not gonna be Spider-Man, who are they fighting? Venom? To me, that's what it felt like Sony has always been trying to do with the Venom movies, is make Venom their Spider-Man for that universe so that they would have Venom fight Morbius, be hunted by Kraven the Hunter, and maybe be the person who goes up against this Sinister Six. But now that we're hearing talks that Sony does eventually want Tom Holland's Spider-Man to be part of their Sony universe somehow, some way, it would be so weird if we get a Sinister Six movie where Tom Holland is the secondary character and we're following along these villains. Which is one of the reasons I'm so curious to how they would market the Venom versus Spider-Man movie, if that's actually something they're planning. Will Spider-Man's name be in the title of the movie? Will it be Venom 3? Or will it be separate from the Venom trilogy and kind of be its own movie, kind of like Batman vs Superman? Look, Sony has the opportunity right now to do something really awesome with their Spider-Man universe that I thought was going to be a failure from the beginning, but they've kind of been making it work out. So if they nail it, hey, I'm all up for it. But you gotta admit, on paper and everything we're hearing right now, it sounds weird. I want to know from you Spider-Man fans, how do you think Sony can pull this off with a solo Sinister Six movie? What would the plot be of that? And how do you integrate Tom Holland's Spider-Man or these other Spider people into this? But that is all the movie news we currently have going on right now, guys. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video and spend your day with me. It really means the world to me. Don't be forgetting to check out the videos for the rest of the week, like the Venom review and the Halloween videos. But as always, my name is Chris. Take care.